The oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. Ladies and gentlemen, as a 16-year-old, I would like to speak to you about this fear. This fear that has managed to ensnare the most vulnerable in our society, corrupting them into zealots for a movement of hate and oppression. This fear which has remained underneath the radar of the majority of society for far too long. This fear that is becoming more and more prevalent with each passing day. Ladies and gentlemen, Chairperson, I've come to speak tonight about my grave concerns that my fellow youth are falling victim to the propaganda, misinformation, and misconceptions spread by the alternative right wing, or the alt-right. I've come to raise awareness of this movement and encourage us all to broaden our perspectives, embrace communication, and reject fear and hate. Where do you get most of your news from? I'm sure most of you would say the television or the newspaper. Well, what if I told you that there is a completely different landscape of information provision, which most of us are simply unaware of? The internet. Now, many of you may scoff at this and say that you acquire most of your news through the internet on news sites. However, I am not talking about news sites. You see, there are many good things about the internet. Access to all of the world's information at your fingertips. The ability to communicate with nearly anyone across the globe in a matter of seconds. However, through this unhindered communication comes a problem. Smaller demographics of individuals with what can be classified as extremist political opinions are usually unable to form an effective movement due to the fact that they are so few and far between in such low density and possess no form of communication. This all changes with the added factor of the internet, giving individuals such as these the ability to communicate and organize themselves through a means such as this is the necessary ingredient to cultivate the growth and spread of an extremist political organization. Internet forums, which most of us are likely unaware of, are a breeding ground and vile cesspool of such ideas. These places are where individuals such as Brenton Tarrant, the Christchurch shooter, posted his manifesto in an attempt to spread his far-right supremacist ideals. These forums are oftentimes anonymous, allowing individuals to preach their most extreme political opinions without consequence or fear of judgment. These sites tend to attract similar-minded individuals. Therefore, the movement grows ever stronger as their numbers begin to increase. Youths, whose mind is still in the developing stage, are susceptible to easily buying into these political extremes as they begin to spiral down into a rabbit hole of hate and fear. It all starts with fear. A fear of one's so-called Western identity being stripped away. A fear of immigrants from the Middle East carrying with them ideas akin to the Islamic State group. A fear of the unknown. This fear manifests in hate. A hate which spreads to others and eventually turns into violence. However, what causes this fear? The answer is remarkably simple. People are afraid of what they don't know. So, how can this problem be solved? It can be solved by allowing them to simply interact with and understand what they fear. Yet, stereotypes reinforced by the right wing have left their mark on the young, impressionable minds of our youth, and this fear will continue to grow like a foul tumor until we take action. So, what do I think that we should do about this? Now, this may seem controversial, but hate met with hate only generates more hate. Therefore, I believe that we should cease lashing out at one another for differing political opinions, as this only serves to exacerbate the problem of political polarization. Rather, we should embrace and educate. They fear what they do not know, therefore we make them aware of it, we make them aware of the reality. Education is the key. If they are educated and informed, they will know that they have nothing to fear. So, ladies and gentlemen, I implore you, rather than lashing out at one another and, as I said, exacerbating this problem, we should seek to embrace one another's political differences and find common ground. And through this, we will finally be able to rid the world of this fear and hate which has taken hold of our youth.